So after 11 years of using Questrade, I want to give an honest review. I want to give my opinion on Questrade since I've been using it for 11 years. All right, so overall, I like it since I am all in Questrade. All my accounts are with Questrade. So RESP, RRSP, TFSA, and margin account are all with Questrade. So overall, I like Questrade because I'm all in it. But obviously, nothing is perfect. So I want to talk about what I like about it and what I don't like about it. So first of all, I'll talk about the platform. I'll talk about the customer service. I'll talk about commissions and a few other things. So customer service, or actually let's start with the platform. All right, so one of the main reasons I like Questrade is because of the platform. It's very easy to use. It's user friendly. It's not complicated. I mean, I can navigate through it quickly. It's also fast, so I can place orders quickly and sell positions quickly as well. And I'm not even an active trader. I can look at my balances easily. I can move to positions, easily navigate through my orders, which ones are open, which ones have been executed. Order entry windows already there on the right side. So it's very easy to use. I like the platform. It's quick. They have a mobile app as well. They have, if you're an active trader, you could download a desktop version. But this is less user friendly. It's more for active traders who require so many charts and windows open at the same time. So one of the first things is platform very easy. That's one of the main reasons I use Questrade. I used to be with CIBC Investors Edge, but I actually switched everything to Questrade because it was just simpler. What I also like about the platform is that they keep adding features that wasn't there before. So for example, they add features like if you look up a stock, for example, let's look up, I don't know, Coca-Cola, for example. Look, you can see how easily it is to look up a stock, and you've got a buy and sell button right away. But what I like about it is that they added the feature of earnings. When is the earnings date or estimated earnings date for this stock, the ex-dividend date, and if you own the stock, actually, under your positions tab. So if I go under account, go under positions, if there's an expected dividend payment or ex-dividend date on the stock that I'm holding, it's going to say dividend next to it, or it's going to say earnings as well next to it. So that's a new feature that wasn't there before that I like. They also improved the charting. So it might not consider everyone, but if you click on the chart, it turns into more of an interactive chart for active, for active traders. You could see, you can have candlesticks. You can even draw on it if you want. You could choose what you want to display, if it's candlestick, mountain, or bar. You can add different comparisons as well. So just the fact that they're always innovating and trying to improve their platform is another thing that I like. I like that you can easily switch from the trading platform to the account management platform, where you could do many things. So you could look up your reports like your investment summary, investment return, account activity. You can look up all your account activity and export in Excel all your account activity to analyze. So it's very easy, very useful. You can download statements, trade confirmations. You get your tax slips also online. You can also transfer funds between accounts. Everything, the request is done online. You can withdraw easily also online. You can exchange funds if you want from Canadian to US or vice versa. So I like that everything is done online. You don't have to move anywhere. You don't have to mail anything. Even documents, to upload documents, it's done online as well. And I like that they also have a refer a friend program. So once you open an account, you get a referral code. If you share that referral code with your friends or people, you get $25, and your friend will get between $25 and $250 cash back, depending on how much they open the account with or contribute to the account in the first 90 days. So that's pretty good. Not all brokerage accounts have that. So another thing I like about Questrade is opening an account is very easy. It's all done online. It takes 2 business days if all your documents are correct. And like I said, you do it from the comfort of your own home. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to mail anything. All right, so let's talk customer service. So I like that they have the chat feature. I use it all the time. I rarely call them. I always use chat. Normally they're pretty quick, but of course with right now, because the market is crashing, they're very busy, which is normal. I don't blame them for that part. So you do have to wait a while right now just to talk to them, but normally under normal conditions, they're pretty quick. So I like that they're available. I like that there's a chat feature. They are very polite. So the customer agents are very polite, sometimes even a bit too polite. Like they always say phrases like, we appreciate your business, thank you for being a loyal customer, sometimes a little bit too often. Like for me, that's not exactly what defines great customer service. For me, great customer service is solving my problem, solving my issue if I have one, and answering my question accurately, correctly. So one thing I don't like about their customer service is sometimes I find the agents give me different answers. So if I speak to more than one person, I'll get different answers. And even sometimes I'll speak to the same person, I'll ask the same question twice, and I'll get a different answer for that same question. Sometimes they acknowledge and apologize, and sometimes they just deny it. So that's something that I find they can improve with their customer service, is maybe to train their agents better. Maybe they don't spend enough time training their agents so that they all have the right information, the same information as well. But what I do like is they always try to make you happy. So if there's something that's upsetting you, they'll try to give you a $25 credit just to make sure you're a satisfied client. So I like that you can open all types of accounts with them. You can open all the registered types of accounts, and you can open trading accounts, margin accounts. So as you can see here, get set up in minutes. It's easy and free. Open your account online, sign and submit documents online. Quick and easy ways to fund online. Simply just you send money from your bank account as if you're paying a credit card bill. So using online banking, you pay a bill, you just pay Questrade instead, and your money's there the next business day. So it's really as simple as they mention it over here. So that's another thing I like about them. And they've got 3 different platforms. They've got the browser platform, which I just showed you over here. So this you can access from any browser. They've got the mobile app, which is great as well. Very useful if you want to access your account via your smartphone, and you can make very comfortable trades with it, very easy as well. And then you've got IQ Edge, which is for active traders, advanced trading. As you can see from the picture here, it's a bit more complicated, so it's really for advanced traders, and all this is free. So all 3 platforms are free. Now let's talk commissions. So commissions, everyone likes to talk about commissions. So in Canada, they are, in my opinion, the second cheapest in Canada. The only one cheaper is Interactive Brokers, but Interactive Brokers, I find that their platform is a bit more complicated to use. It's not as user-friendly as Questrade, and Questrade is not that far off in terms of your types of trading, of course. So that's a thing. So if you really want to care about commissions, you first have to know what's your strategy, what's your investment strategy, because it might not make a difference at the end. So if you're an active trader, then commissions is going to matter. But if you're a buy and hold investor, so you buy once and you never sell, then it doesn't really matter if you pay $5 per trade or $10 per trade in that case. If you only buy ETFs, then yeah, maybe it's worth it to go with Questrade because ETFs are free. And I think with all brokerages, buying ETF is free. Selling it has a commission, but buying ETFs is free. In terms of stocks with Questrade, it's between $5 and $10 to buy a stock, and then another $5 or $10 to sell a stock, which is, compared to the banks, is cheaper. So just to quickly summarize the commissions without going through all the details of the commissions, Questrade is definitely the second cheapest in Canada compared to Interactive Brokers. You have Wealthsimple Trade, which is completely free in terms of buying Canadian stocks. Buying and selling Canadian stocks, Wealthsimple Trade is free, but it is not a complete brokerage yet. It doesn't have all the features that Questrade or Interactive Brokers has, so I cannot really compare it. Plus, if you buy US stocks, you're going to be converting automatically. With Questrade, once you convert, if you start off with Canadian funds and you buy a US stock, let's say you have $1,000 Canadian and you want to buy a US stock, it's going to be converted automatically for you. Let's say it's going to give you about, let's say 700 US. If you end up selling that US stock, it's going to stay, the money that you're going to get from selling that US stock is going to stay in US dollars. But with Wealthsimple Trade, if you sell that US stock, it's going to get converted back to Canadian, and you don't know the day that you decide to sell your US stock, you don't know what the Canadian US exchange is. So you might be converting back at a loss. You could also be converting at a profit, but you don't know that. So that lack of control with Wealthsimple Trade in terms of converting from US to Canadian and Canadian to US, for me would not justify commission-free trading for me with Wealthsimple Trade. So for me, the only the two best brokerages in Canada for me is Interactive Broker and Questrade. They also have a special price for active traders. So if you're an active trader with Questrade, you can get better pricing than the commissions mentioned up here. So for example, for options, as you can see here, it says $10 to open a trade and then it's $1 a contract. But if you get active trader pricing, it is $5 to open a trade and 75 cents a contract. So it makes a big difference. Active trader pricing though does cost $89 a month, but it can be reimbursed if you spend more than $400 in commissions. And if you are an active trader, most likely you'll be spending more than $400 in commissions per month. So you won't be paying that $90, but at least it gives you access to better market data and it gives you access to better commissions as well. But that's for active traders. If you're not an active trader, if you're just a buy and hold investor, then these are your prices over here. What's between $5 and $10 a trade for stocks, and ETFs are free to buy, but $5 to $10 to sell, and options are $10 to open with a $1 per contract. So here's something I like and don't like about them. So margin, you can trade on margin, of course. So basically when you trade on margin, you're borrowing money from the broker to buy stocks. But obviously when you're borrowing for a price. You're paying interest to borrow. So one thing I don't like about Questrade is their interest in the margin account. It's pretty high. So right now their margin account, the interest is sitting at, if you buy Canadian stocks and you're borrowing money to buy Canadian stocks, you'll be paying about 3.45 plus 3.5, so about 7% interest per year to use margin account. And the US, if you're buying US stocks, it's 4.25 plus 3.75, so 8% interest per year to buy US stocks in a margin account. So that's one thing I don't like, because with interactive brokers, you're actually paying much less. I think it's around 3-4% interest per year with interactive brokers. So it makes a difference. But something I do like about their margin account, so this is actually probably, I would say maybe 90% of the reason that I'm using Questrade instead of interactive brokers. It is the following reason. You can actually, here, let me just look it up for you so you could see it in front of the screen, so you can see it at the same time. So with Questrade, if you have a margin account, so this only concerns someone who has the intention of trading with margin. So you can boost your trading with margin power. So if you have a TFSA with Questrade, you can actually leverage your TFSA to increase the buying power of your margin account. So if you've got, let's say, 60K in your TFSA and they're all in assets, they're all in equities, you can get an additional $40,000 in buying power in your margin account. It is dangerous, it is risky, but it's an advantage if you use it correctly. It's as if you're borrowing against your assets. Some people see that as an advantage and some people see that as dangerous. Now, I remember when I first started trading in 2009 or investing with Questrade in 2009, they did make some mistakes in their calculations. For example, I once sold a stock and I had $2,000 left in my account. I withdrew the money. So I made a withdrawal, made a request to withdraw it. I got the money in my bank account, but I noticed that the $2,000 was still showing under my Questrade balance. That's a mistake from their part, but actually benefits me. But I think 6 months later, they realized it and sent me an email saying that there was a $2,000 mistake. And they ended up requesting that money back, because I think I had just used it and traded it and I think I lost it, but that's besides the point. But what I'm saying is they did make a mistake, but they did find it. And that's at the beginning. They don't do that kind of mistake anymore, or else I wouldn't still be trading with them and have all my accounts with them. And there is something a little weird as well. So in my margin account every day, I always see a closed PNL of 154 US. So even if I didn't make any trade in my margin account, I always start the day with a closed PNL of 154 US. So that's something I never understood. I haven't inquired about it, but it is something that's weird. I should ask them. But I look at my account activity every day to see what goes in, what goes out. So I'm not too worried. About that. So another thing I like about Questrade is that they actually have additional insurance. So they cover your assets up to $10 million. While other brokerages cover your assets for about $1 million. So they're regulated by all the same regulators as the other brokerages. But what they have better is that they have an additional $10 million through private insurance to cover your assets in case they go bankrupt, in case the broker goes bankrupt. So 21 years in the Canadian market, $9 billion in assets under administration, and 8 times winner of best managed companies. All right, so if you have any questions, anything I didn't mention in this any in this video I didn't review, just mention in the comments below. I'll gladly answer it. And if you are planning on opening an account with Questrade, use my referral code in the description below the video to get up to $250 back, as you can see here. So if you fund your account with $1,000, you get $25. If you fund your account with $10,000, you get $50. Up to $250 if you fund your account with $100,000. Thanks for watching.